Hiya friends, Prepared Suburbanite back at you. I got a question for you, and I'd really like to hear what you're all thinking about this. But what is going to happen in the second half of 2024 and the whole next year into 2025? I read a very interesting article this morning that I want to go over in some depth and detail, but the author makes some very interesting claims about the future. So stick around. So, the article that I mentioned in the intro is called The Year of the Snakes 2025 Possibilities, and it's authored by a pseudonym Swamp Fox, and it appeared on the Survival Blog website, and I'll put a link in the comments there if you want to go read the whole article. It's not all that awful long, but he makes some very, very interesting comments. So let me just read from the first opening paragraph here. Obviously, 2024 is an election year, and whatever your hopes about the upcoming election, I can almost guarantee that Trump will not be reelected. The last election was rigged, and this one will be too. With all the charges being filed against Trump, I believe it's more likely that he will see the inside of a prison cell rather than the inside of the Oval Office. Now, when I read that first opening paragraph there, I said, "Oh, I don't want to read what this guy's got to say." So I set it aside for a few minutes and went back to it and said, "Okay, I got to read the whole thing, see what he's really talking about." But I think there's an awful lot of us that are conservatives, that are Republicans, that are basically Trump supporters, that believe that all this nonsense that's going on, it's nonsense. The lawsuits in New York City, the records nonsense in Georgia, you name it, it all feels like they have mobilized the judicial system against Donald Trump. And even George Stephanopoulos said so in a Sunday show, and I didn't watch it, I just saw a clip of it. He's basically saying Trump's the only guy, the only president that's ever been indicted on federal charges. He's the only one that's been this and been that and done this and done that and criminal activity and this and rigging the election and blah, 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 blah. And my take on that is that it's all manufactured. That certainly George Bush or Barack Obama or Clinton easily could have been facing this kind of scrutiny, this kind of lawfare, if the Republicans were as downright dirty and nasty as the Democrats have been against Trump. So I think that's all these lawsuits, all these indictments, if you read down through it, Trump is certainly no saint, but whether he's committed all these dastardly felony level crimes, I'm finding it very, very hard to believe, and it feels like it's all manufactured lawfare to keep him out of the White House. And as this author, the Swamp Fox guy, as he said, he doesn't think that that's going to happen. He thinks that the 2020 election was rigged, and that's his opinion. I think there were certainly some abnormalities there in Pennsylvania and in Georgia and a couple of other places where The actions just didn't seem to line up with the outcomes. We'll put it that way. But it's done. We've had to put up with 3 years worth of Joseph Biden, and this is what we get. We get high rates of inflation. We get a devalued dollar. We get endless wars by proxy against Russia, against China, against Iran, you name it. He's bankrupted the whole federal economy. He's done way too many ugly, nasty things that don't add up to his role as president, which is supposed to be protecting the citizens of the United States. And he is doing a dismal, at best, job of that. What was going on in the southern border, our national debt, the budget deficits, spending money like crazy, trying to do away with our fossil fuels and internal combustion engines, and forcing everybody into looking at electric vehicles. Makes no sense to me, and it doesn't feel like it's the healthiest thing to do. Trump, on the other hand, I think he's got his own agenda that he's going to make sure that a lot of this nonsense gets stopped once he takes office. But the real possibility exists that this coming election could be rigged, could be influenced by very wealthy domestic players, or even foreign players that would want to make sure that the gravy train that they are on right now with Biden stays in effect, and they'll pull out all the stops. And by God, if the Republicans complain about the outcome of the election, if they were to lose, oh my God, that's going to be another insurrection. It's going to be another bevy of criminal charges against whoever said whatever they say. It's very possible that that could happen. On the other hand, we've got the potential for 4 more years of this nonsense going on, and I am truly amazed that half, whether the polls are right or not, but somewhere around half the voting population thinks that Joe Biden deserves another 4 years, and I'm finding it very, very difficult to believe that there are that many folks out there that believe that. I think most of what I'm seeing and what you're seeing is the vote against Trump, not the vote for Biden. And I think that's what's really making the difference. But man, if Donald Trump gets convicted of any of these charges that are out there, and there's lots of them, if he gets convicted, it's going to be a way uphill battle for him to pull off an election win in 2024. If he does get convicted, it's possible that he will end up in prison or some sort of supervised release where he can't run for president or hold in an office or whatever. They will clip his wings, but good, once there's a conviction. And there's too many people that I've heard say that, boy, once Trump gets convicted, I'm not voting for him at all. And I don't know if that's going to be good for Kennedy Jr. or if it's going to be good for Joe Biden, but a conviction could be really, really bad. I'd like to understand what you're all thinking. So the question is, what do you think the possibilities are that this upcoming election is going to be rigged to the outcome that the Democrats win another 4 years in the White House? And second part of that question is, do you think Trump is going to get convicted of any one of the multiple felony charges that are hanging against him right now? This is a pretty sobering thought. Like I said, I'll put a link to this article because the author goes into a lot of other things that are going on and basically makes the case for Trump being in the White House because of all the myriad of things that are going on that are just absolutely terrible in our economy and on our world stage right now. So it's kind of a good article, and hat tip to the Survival blog for having the courage to post that after reading the first opening paragraph. Anyway, that's it from here. Want to know your thoughts, want to know what you're thinking, leave me a comment down below. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you that we ain't got much time left to be prepared. So I'll see y'all on the next video.